coming to you live from Track Major Studios in Austin, Texas. We are Us on Everything podcast. My name is Tim Wayne.
Uncle Gandhi, what up?
What's going on? We hope you guys had a great weekend. A lot of stuff happened in the NFL.
How was your weekend, Tim?
Pretty slow, but sports-wise, it was great. Sports-wise, it was great.
It's
How
a good
about
weekend.
yourself?
It was a good weekend, man. Chilling. Did a lot of chilling this weekend. We'll keep those stories to ourselves.
Oh, yeah. We'll definitely do that.
No, I mean, I think, what, and we'll talk about this a little bit later. One really interesting story, and one thing I noticed, I felt like that Bills-Chiefs game felt like it took 20 years.
Yeah, it was a long game.
Yeah.
It was a long game.
Go for it.
Yeah, before we get started with everything, today is officially the 1 year anniversary of Kobe Bryant's death and his daughter Gianna. They both passed away in a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California, which is still kind of, I haven't been able to process that yet. It just doesn't seem real.
It's hard. I think Kobe's that guy, right? He was always one of those guys. There's a lot of athletes that are very what's the word I'm looking for? Not dynamic, but they set a trend.
Right. I think Kobe was definitely bigger than the sport of basketball.
Yeah.
And there's not too many of those.
Yeah, and
guys.
you look at all the guys that he inspired, impacted, including LeBron, right?
Right.
Impacted, inspired. Not just in the sport of basketball.
Right.
So, really tough, and just seeing him and his daughter Gigi. There was a game shortly before he passed. I think it was with the Mavericks actually, where him and Luka shared a moment.
Yeah.
And Gigi was right there.
Yeah. Luka explains in the clip after the passing of Kobe. And I think even he had an interview after the game, and he was saying that Kobe was talking trash to him in his native language.
Yeah.
Which Kobe
That's
does know about 7 different languages, if I'm not mistaken.
A lot of people don't know Kobe grew up in Italy.
Right.
So.
Yeah. It just really sucks, man. I remember where I was when it happened. And it was just, it's just still unreal.
So
like, I feel like he's like, he's like on a trip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and he's going to come back anytime soon.
Yeah.
It's still very, golly, man. Like, it just, I don't know. That was weird. Like, I remember where, like, Whitney Houston was when she died. I remember where I was when Michael Jackson died. I remember where I was when Prince died. I remember these icons, like where I was and what I was doing when they died. And this Kobe one just kind of really shook me, because Kobe seemed almost immortal, almost. I love Michael Jackson. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Michael Jackson, I love Prince, but like something about this Kobe one, maybe because I was older and maybe, I don't know, I just felt closer to Kobe, even though I wasn't a Kobe fan and a fan. And at that time, like, we talked about it last episode. I wasn't a Kobe fan until he got like a little bit outside of that, like that rookie stage. So like 5 or 6 years into Kobe. But yeah, I
think for me, it definitely is gonna stay in a moment that I know exactly what I was doing.
Right.
I was actually on Twitter.
Right.
And I saw it.
Right.
And I was like, hold on a second.
Right.
I started looking around. Boom, 2 minutes later, I was on the phone with Ariel, my fiance.
Right.
2 minutes later, I saw it on the news.
That's crazy.
And I think, and just to touch on what you were saying like, you think it hit Kobe hit you more. I think it's because we grew up with Kobe.
Right.
We talk about a couple times where we said that, hey, LeBron has been in the NBA for half of our lives.
Yeah.
We grew up with Kobe.
Right.
We were kind of, we followed his entire
I think
career.
it was like
8, 9?
8, 9, 10?
Something
like
like
that. Yeah.
So, we basically saw his entire career.
Right.
At a age where we were old enough to still remember moments from back then.
Right.
All the way into the end of his career.
Like, I remember Kobe playing Jordan.
Yeah.
I remember
when he was
that.
with Washington. Even when
Yeah.
when he was with Chicago.
Yeah, I remember those. I remember those
So,
games. Do you have a Kobe moment? Like, do you have a favorite Kobe moment?
Yeah. So I'm gonna say that the series as a whole was super memorable to me. One of the greatest series of all time, in my opinion.
Right,
But Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals,
right,
2003.
right,
Not just a spectacular moment.
Right.
Obviously the alley oop, right?
right.
But
Oh,
the
yeah.
overtime.
The Portland alley-oop to Shaq.
No,
Is that the one you're
that
talking
was
about?
against Sacramento
Was it?
and Arco.
I thought it was against Portland.
There have been a couple, but the most, well, go look it up. The most iconic one that people probably remember the most, I'm pretty sure, is Game 6, Western Conference Finals, alley-oop to Shaq. I think it ended up sending them to overtime because remember they were down in that series,
Right,
and they ended up winning that series in 7.
right.
And I think that was either first or the second of the three-peat. I don't remember.
Man, it was so many. Gosh, man, it's crazy. Well, yeah. So that alley-oop.
I just that series, just the way I think that's when the world knew who Kobe was.
Right.
Right up until that moment, you're a hardcore fan. Like, yeah, I know. Even your casual fan
Right.
would know who it is. But after that series and after that three-peat, people knew who Kobe was.
Right, most definitely. I would say there was most people are gonna say Kobe's 81. I did remember watching that game. I was watching that game.
Yep.
As it happened back then, it was kind of like, I don't really like the Lakers. I don't really like Toronto because they got rid of Vince Carter. But I'm gonna still watch because it's time for me to go to bed, and I couldn't play video games anymore, so I had to lay up in the bed
There you go.
and just sit up there and watch whatever was on until I fell asleep. Of course, those games back in the day, they used to come on relatively late.
Oh yeah, especially on the West Coast. Well,
Yeah.
for us because
Yeah.
they're on the West Coast.
Right. So I remember. I don't know what game it was. I can't tell you who they played. I just remember Kobe coming down off of a fast break, and he was clearly going to dunk the ball, but he put a little pizzazz on it,
Yeah,
and like he went around his back
I know what you're talking
and
about.
did like, and then I want to say he did like a 180 and then flushed it, and that was just like, I had like my favorite basketball player outside of Michael Jordan is Vince Carter. And Vince Carter was the only person that I've seen do that.
Yeah,
And I think people forget how much of a great dunker that Kobe was. And this was like after Shaq left, right? So like he had a couple injuries. He had been banged up. I remember he like broke his finger. He messed up his knee. He like literally just took off with one leg, went around the back, turned, flush. That was it. And I was like,
I remember that.
I was in shock because I hadn't seen it done before. He wasn't doing that often. And he even in his older age, like he'd let you know, like he can get up there still.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't let you forget it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my favorite moment. Also, we don't want to forget that there were 7 other people involved in that crash. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't necessarily remember their names off the top of my head, but we don't want to forget them. And of course, we always want to wish everybody that has been affected by that hopefully, I know it's gonna take some time because there's a lot of people's heroes, especially on the West Coast. But we hope you guys at this time, if you're having a hard time getting through that, we just send our thoughts and prayers, our T's and P's to you guys.
Absolutely.
We always want to wish a Kobe, and Gianna and everybody else that was involved in that crash a rest in peace.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk football.
Let's talk it. What you want to talk about first? What you want to go with first?
We got so much to do. We need to start with where we obviously should start with, right? Continuation of the playoffs, conference championships. We'll just start with the early game. We'll start with Packers-Bucks.
Packers-Bucks. All right. Well,
obviously, the Bucks won the game.
right.
There's some key moments in that game that I remember very vividly.
Right.
I don't know if this stems back from kind of what you and I just talk about on a regular basis, not on the show or anything,
Right.
of the trust between Matt LaFleur.
Right.
Is it Matt LaFleur? Yep.
Matt LaFleur. Yeah.
Matt LaFleur and Aaron
No need facts
Rodgers.
here.
And Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
I don't think they get along. I don't think Aaron Rodgers.
So you
likes
think
him.
Aaron Rodgers is putting up a front
Yeah.
that he gets along with Matt LaFleur?
Yep.
That's a wild take. That's a
what I
wild
think.
take.
There's just things that if you look at their season up until now,
Right.
and last season was the same. They finished 13-3, had a home playoff game.
Right.
Last year, did they lose in the was it conference championship or was it division?
They lost in the conference championship to
Oh, they were the
49ers.
2 seed
Remember,
last
Matt
year.
Burrito ran
Yeah.
for 205 yards against
That's
them.
right. They were the 2 seed last year.
Yeah.
And they went to San Fran. And
Yeah.
they
And got ran
ran
out
out the building.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, stadium.
Yeah.
There's something. I don't think the Patriots were a bad, or the Bucks. Sorry, I don't think the Bucks were a bad matchup for them.
Okay. They were definitely beatable. Because
Oh, yeah.
Tom gave it,
And
gave
Tom
it up.
looked terrible.
He didn't look terrible the entire time. He started out terrible. That second half, he looked like the GOAT.
He did.
That second half to me, he did.
Yeah, that third interception is the one thing that stuck out to me. That was absolutely horrible. Where he was getting pressured, he thrown off his back foot and just kind of floated it up in the air.
I think, but I think he was just that play. He shouldn't have made that play. I think he just did it to avoid getting sacked. We all know that Tom does not like to get hit.
because he'll
so-
bitch.
Tom is, even though he stands 6'5", he like once you have an injury like he did, a catastrophic knee injury where he stepped into getting his knee blown out, you're not the same.
Sure.
I'm a big guy and I just don't like people around my knees in general.
Right.
So to have somebody to have had an injury like that, that catastrophic of an injury where he blew it out, throwing the ball in mid stride, like that's something different. Like that's like, so yeah, when people are around his legs or his lower extremity, like yeah, he's gonna be moving around. He's gonna be antsy because he doesn't want the same thing to happen again. He still wears a knee brace now, and he's perfectly fine.
Well, he's also 700 years old.
Ah, come on. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not a Tom Brady fan, but when it comes to stuff like that, I kind of understand
No, I
why.
get it.
Green Bay, what the?
That's a team that again
I had them going.
I had them winning. We talked about it last week. I had them winning. I don't know what it is. They get to certain games, and I think this is where Aaron Rodgers draws the line, right? Obviously, we think that, but then I also read earlier today that their GM says, no, we're running this back.
Really?
Yeah, they're running it back.
Did you watch the interview today?
With Pat?
Yeah.
No.
It was a 45-minute interview.
Yeah. You know, him and Pat are great friends.
Right. And
Really good friends.
he literally said, like, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, no, he said so. That's what I'm saying. After that came out,
Oh, okay.
he did say
We're running it back.
the GM said that we're running it back. After
How
that
are they
came
gonna pay Aaron Jones?
They're not. I don't think they are. I think they're going to lose a lot of pieces to gain some pieces in other places, and I think that's the sacrifice.
That's a lot. You're asking. Like,
You
Aaron
lost-
Jones was
well-
at one point in time. Like, we got to remember, Aaron Jones went down.
Yeah,
I mean, not Aaron Jones. Devontae Adams went down for a minute, and Aaron Jones was the focal point. And he did a really good job in them in those games where he was more of the focal point because Devontae was hurt.
yeah.
So if you sit there and you get rid of that guy, that is I just don't feel like he's replaceable.
No, he's not.
I
Well, no, I don't want to say not replaceable. I do think running back is the most interchangeable position on a football team. They have a big back behind him. They could go get another Aaron Jones type back, third, fourth round of the draft. I honestly, I don't know who that is right now, but
I just
think
feel like
it's out there.
I just feel like
That guy is out
I feel like he was the dog of the group.
Sure.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, we all know Devontae Adams is worth the 99 overall average that he has in Madden now. Congratulations. But when it comes to like an offense and like people rolling, like I feel like he was that guy. Like he was the emotional leader.
So how many times did Aaron Jones get the ball in the red zone last week?
Not too many times.
Maybe twice.
Maybe.
That's a trust issue. That's a. I'm not going to put the ball. There's a couple things behind that. You don't trust your offensive line.
Well, okay. Let's hold up. Let's hold. Let's get this thing straight. We do know for a fact that the Bucs have a great red zone defense. I was
about to say that.
Yeah,
I get that they have a great defensive line,
and they got
but it's one
all
of
of their
things,
defensive players back last week.
It's one of those things where it's like, this is the conference championship.
Right.
It doesn't matter who you have out there.
Right.
It doesn't matter how old they are, how many busted knees they have, how many times their grandma slapped them when they were 10. Like, you're going to put it all out there.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
And if you feel like if you are going to sit here and say, I believe in my team.
Right.
I trust my players. Mm-hmm. This is one of the reasons why I respect Frank Reich. It doesn't matter how good that defense is that's on the other side.
He's going to go for it.
He's going to go for it, right. And he's going to use every option out there possible. Whether it's successful or not is a completely different story.
Okay. And
I don't think the Packers, on that 3rd and goal,
right.
We'll talk about the end of the game, the last possession they had.
Oh, man,
that 3rd and goal, they had 75. Aaron Rodgers could have ran for 75 yards.
I don't understand why he didn't run it in.
I think it's a trust issue. I don't think Matt LaFleur, and maybe it's maybe Aaron Rodgers didn't want to win. I don't know.
I think honestly, okay. So here's the thing: when he got down to the goal line, we were together. Yeah. Like I knew for a fact that was an opportunity for him to run it in. It was bothering me that he didn't want to run it in, and I was thinking the only thing that I could think of is he was scared of the Buccaneers linebackers.
Could have been.
He was scared of Levante David.
He
was scared of Vita Vea. He was scared of
if you're running
scared of JPP. JPP caught him twice.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
It's a trust issue. I don't think they trust each other. You can get through it through the regular season. I think there's points in time in the playoffs where that trust isn't there.
Right.
And I think that's what it boils down to. Either way, I don't believe Aaron Rodgers. This is the Aaron Rodgers is 38.
37? Yeah, he'll be 38.
This is his best season. Statistically, this was the best season he's ever had.
He
balled out this year.
He deserves MVP.
Absolutely.
Even with Tom, like,
he also deserves a head coach that cares about him and that'll get along with him and isn't ready to move on from him. So, anyway, let's talk about. Shoot him up. All right, let's talk about the other game, which was, to me, I was very disappointed in this game. I thought it was a snooze fest. All right. I just thought it was a snooze fest. Like,
why did you think it was a snooze fest?
I think I was just tired, exhausted.
You're probably tired.
Yeah. I was really exhausted.
That was me this song. Yeah. That was me.
I was just really, I don't know what it was, but I was sitting there like the first 2 drives because we were hanging out.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, I'm just sleepy. And then I got home.
And that game turned into something completely different.
And then it was still the first quarter. Like, I felt like 4, 5, 6, 7 drives went through, and it was still the first quarter.
So here's the thing. This is what I noticed about that game. The Bills went up 9, right?
Yep.
In the first half.
First quarter, wasn't it?
Bills went up 9 in the first quarter. Mecole Hardman drops the ball at the 2-yard line.
Yep, remember that.
Okay. And from that point on, you could see through the next couple of drives, you could see that Patrick Mahomes was trying to get Mecole's confidence back.
Yeah, because he dropped it.
And
that was a big drop.
Because that was a big drop.
Yep.
Once he got the ball and was able to, I think he had like a sweep or a screen or something for a touchdown.
Yeah, he ran it all the way across the field.
It was over. That game was over. Once I saw that, I was like, yeah, they're done. There's nothing that they can do to get back into this game. And I just felt like the Bills, they were throwing haymakers and just couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
It just couldn't happen. And I'm not saying it was Josh Allen's fault, because Josh Allen had a relatively good game. And did you know he had like 88 yards rushing?
Yeah.
He had a lot. He had like.
I'm surprised that's all he had, seeing he had no time behind the pocket.
He was doing a lot. That defensive line from Kansas City.
Not only that, it looked like he was running for his life. I thought I was watching Deshaun Watson behind an offensive line.
Bruh.
Like,
we'll cover Deshaun Watson
honestly,
later.
I thought the Bills like called Bill O'Brien and was like, "Hey man, you're not there anymore. Do you want? Can we have your offensive line real quick?"
Jesus Christ, man.
Like that's what I felt like.
Jesus
like I
Christ.
felt like he was running for his life on.
No, he
every
was. He most definitely
single
was.
Play. And
Frank Clark, whatever, I forget the contract that he got.
Yeah.
Hey,
it obviously
he
worked.
earned
Right?
his money right
sure.
there.
And again, I get that their defensive line played well.
Right.
The Buffalo Bills offensive line is not that bad. They're not.
No. No, they're not bad
they
at all.
looked
They're not bad
horrible.
at all. No, they're not bad at all. One thing I didn't like is that they just kind of got away from the run.
They've never been a good running team though.
But Singletary wasn't having a bad game. He didn't have a terrible game, but it's like, here's the thing about the Chiefs, and we all know it. Once you get down and you get down like 10, like it's really hard to come back because you can't afford to. You really can't afford to run the ball on them like you used to, because they've shored that up. They've gotten the defensive players to take care. Swanson had a great game.
Look,
Frank Clark had a great game. Tyrann Mathieu had a great game. They are all run stoppers. They come downhill. Tyrann Mathieu can play over the top and he can play downhill. Where has he been more effective? In being a run stopper. That man is 5'9", 5'10", maybe 160, 170 wet. And he is thumping people.
Tyrann Mathieu, man. I love Tyrann Mathieu.
The Honey Badger.
Beast.
That dude, he showed out.
You might want to get your gunshot ready.
God, what?
You know where Tyrann Mathieu played before he played at Kansas City?
The Cardinals?
Deshaun Watsonville.
Oh, he did play for the Texans.
Yeah. And Bill O'Brien's like, you know what? You're too good. Go ahead and get out of here.
Yo, Bill O'Brien is just the most terrible guy ever, bro.
He's like, man, you like to stop the run? Yeah, we don't like that here. Go on. God.
Yo, who do you know that is Texas fans that you taking shots at?
Don't care. Doesn't matter. I don't need to know any Texans fans. Bill O'Brien as a Colts fan personally, I praise Bill O'Brien because he got rid of everything, and now the final piece is about to drop, and we'll talk about that in a second. Because now the Colts have nobody to worry about in our division, and we'll talk about why in a second. Yeah. But anyway, let's get back to this game. I just felt really bad for Josh because I love Josh Allen.
Right?
Do we have like what's the? No. I needed the gunshot. What's the I love? Man, let me get that. That's like a beat drop or something. Yeah, I'm in love right now.
Probably about the nicest thing I got for Josh Allen.
Oh,
here we go. Here we go.
Okay. Anyway, I love Josh Allen. When Josh Allen came out in that draft, I was like, this is going to be the best quarterback in this draft.
Yeah, I remember.
Let him fix his accuracy, and this is going to be the best quarterback in this draft.
Dude got a rocket.
And he's got arm.
He can throw the peel.
And, now he's got a wide receiver that'll catch it. That's a team that's going to be...
Stephon Diggs might have been the best ad.
Yeah. In the offseason.
In the offseason period.
Yeah. And I think that this Bills team, if they continue on the trajectory that they're on, I don't think we're just going to see Kansas City dominate every year. That Bills team is going to have a couple things to say in a few times. That's going to turn into the Patriots. That's going to be the new Colts Patriots. Bills Chiefs. That's going to be the Colts Patriots.
No. This is why. They're kind of long in the tooth on the defensive end.
They got ways to go, but they have a great GM and they have a great.
They're going to lose. They're going to lose probably. I think they're going to lose Pryor, and they're going to lose Josh Norman. Josh Norman's like 68,000 years old anyway. Well, he's 32 maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah. In football terms, we know that's old.
I thought he was older than that. I thought he was
might be. We don't care because facts don't matter here.
Yeah, true. Anyway, But yeah, I think they're gonna be toe to toe. There's gonna be 2 or 3 other teams that'll be like your sprinkle in teams.
Right.
Like the Colts probably get there a couple times. You might see a
So
signing.
you think that these are going to be the 2 teams representing the AFC
one of those
for
2
the
teams
next 10 years?
will represent the AFC every year for the next 2 years. You'll get a sprinkle in of the Titans, maybe. You'll get a sprinkle in of the Colts. You'll get a sprinkle in of, name the Browns might sprinkle in every now and then. But for the most part, that's going to be your Colts Patriots.
Okay.
And I'm really confident in that. And I'm a Colts fan.
Right. Okay.
And I think our window is about to open up here, and we'll talk about it here in a few minutes. But
All right.
Before we move on, though, Super Bowl, who you got?
I'm going to save that for next week. Right now, I'm leaning towards Bucks. Even though my heart says the Texan in me says to roll with Pat because he's a Texan and he balls.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, I think the football gods are now shining a little bit of light onto the Bucks, and for some reason, they're peaking because they looked like shit before we started playing the playoffs. They looked like garbage. I had no faith in them.
That's why I thought they were going to lose.
I had no faith in them. I was like,
That's
Green
why
Bay.
I thought you were going to lose.
I was like, Green Bay, bring it in.
Yeah.
We finna go to the Super Bowl.
That's why I thought.
I thought the Packers were a shirt. Like they looked so good,
Yeah.
and then game after game, I was like, oh shit. Then it was like, and then we talked about it before the game. I was like, bro, Vita Vea is coming back.
Yeah.
And he was just like, what? Yeah, he's been gone for a while, and he looked good.
The Chiefs remind me of the Warriors during their little sprinkle up of trying to be a dynasty. Those 3 years they won.
Yeah.
They would basically pick their nose and scratch their heads throughout the regular season.
And then make it through the season. Yeah.
And they get to the playoffs, and then all of a sudden they're beating teams by 40 in every game.
Right.
That's what this Chiefs team is doing. Like, I'm not saying they're going to beat the Bucks by 40.
I was like, whoa.
I'm just saying, like, that's like the sense you get.
Do you think it's a potential blowout?
I don't think it's a blowout.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I don't think it's a blowout with the Bucks defense.
With that defense, I don't think it's.
And the last time they played, it was 27-24.
I think it's gonna be like
And the Chiefs
35.
won.
I think it's gonna be like 35-24.
Whew.
And
That's a blowout.
Not really.
35-24.
10 points?
11.
Oh, well, 11 points.
Bruh. That's a big for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's a big point spread.
But I don't think it's gonna go like back and forth for a while.
Right.
And then the Chiefs will get like a field goal at the end or something like that to make it 11. It's not gonna be like blowout on the entire way.
Okay.
But I'm so confident that the Chiefs are gonna win this game. I'm already gonna tell you my MVP.
Who?
Tyreek Hill.
Oh, I don't think anybody can stop Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
I mean, he proves that on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I think Tyreek Hill is gonna win.
Tyreek Hill gets overlooked so much. Oh, Jesus. Tyreek Hill gets overlooked so much.
And I don't understand why. That dude moves like a cheetah. Like, it's not fair.
Cheetah.
It's not fair.
You know, they used to call me Cheetah back in the day.
No comment. Oh.
What? Yeah. You could have just went with it.
Yeah, but then I'd be like, yeah, they called me, I don't know.
There's a couple of guys that, if you're watching this, there's a couple of guys I probably smoked even recently. Well, no, I did fall in the parking lot.
Brutal.
Dude, I was running with no shoes on. I bit it, dude.
Where did you get a great idea like that?
I didn't want to mess up my fresh horses.
Idiot.
Anyway, moving right along. What else you got, boss?
Oh, man. Let's talk Deshaun Watson real quick.
Shit. Deshaun Watson, dog, if you want to come up the street in Dallas, bro.
Yeah, let's go.
I love Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
I think Dak Prescott is a great guy. But fucking Deshaun Watson is Michael Jordan.
Deshaun. Tim wants you to go to Dallas, up the street.
That's up the street.
Yeah, he wants you to go
You
from.
can keep your same crib in Houston.
He wants you to go from a racist GM to an idiot GM. No big deal. Go for it. Go for it. Come on.
I'm not. No.
Gotcha.
No. That's not a shot.
It's a fact. Oh, it's not a fact.
Jerry Jones is not an idiot. Is he? Has he done some boneheaded stuff? Yes.
He's an idiot.
He's not an idiot.
Hey, you're kind of right. He's not really a GM either, so.
He's an owner.
Which makes what he does twice as worse.
President. Dog, he needs to
running back.
He needs to let that shit go.
Left tackle. He's everything, man.
He needs to let that GM shit go. That's not his role.
That
is not his role.
He might take it with him to the
Cowboy fan like that. Jerry, let that shit go.
He might go. He might take it to the graveyard.
And you know what? Unfortunately, I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
Al Davis. Anyway, we're talking about Deshaun Watson, not the Dallas Cowboys.
I think Deshaun Watson should come to Dallas if Dak doesn't want to, work things out. I think that's the best or the next best thing.
I think he should come to the Colts. All right, so now that we're done living in Fantasyland, let's really talk about what's going on.
I think everybody should come to the Colts. You were talking about Matthew Stafford earlier. You were fucking talking about Deshaun Watson, Sam Darnold. Like, who the fuck do you want to be a quarterback?
Plug one of those three in. We're winning a Super Bowl next year.
Fuck no. Are you kidding me?
Winning it.
Are you winning a Super Bowl?
Winning a Super Bowl with one of those three as quarterback.
Deshaun Watson, I can see that. Sam Darnold, no.
You don't see Sam Darnold over the next 3 to 4 years winning a Super Bowl?
You said next year, 2022.
Deshaun Watson would win a Super Bowl in 2022.
No.
Okay. Anyway.
No. I'm lying. Deshaun Watson, I can see that. But the other, Matthew Stafford? No.
Why? What?
No.
So let's talk. So before we go into that, because that's part of our quarterback section. What do you think?
One time. All right, my bad.
Oh yeah. So where do you
Sounds
think?
my track majors.
Where do you think he's actually going? Deshaun Watson.
I don't know, bro. I really don't know. What I think is going to end up happening. I think he's going to end up probably with the Jets. They got the capital. Realistically, if I was Miami, I would say Miami because they got picks too, where they can still give up a couple and still be able to.
They have cap space, don't they?
Yeah, they got cap space.
Miami
has cap space. Jets got cap space too because they gave up everybody.
Well, yeah, that's why Sam Darnold looks like a fucking.
Hey, Jets give up Quentin Nelson.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Thank you for being so stupid. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the Jets.
Yeah, they are stupid. They gave away Jamal Adams.
Yeah. I don't know if that was worse
Jamal
or
Adams wanted to be a Cowboy.
I think he's going to. I think he's going to end up in Miami. I honestly think. Look, players these days.
That's just making it harder for you.
I don't care. What do I care if he goes to Miami?
Why wouldn't you care? He's in the AFC. You're going to meet him eventually. Yeah, he's not in the same division. That's a good thing, right? Yeah. You at least if you win your division, you're good. I think you guys are gonna win your division for the next, regardless who's in there. If Deshaun Watson is gone and he's removed from that division, you're running that division for the next.
Should run that division.
10 years.
We'll say should. If I would,
I just don't have. I don't
where
have
do I
faith
think
in the
he
Titans.
goes is Miami. Where I think he's the best fit is San Francisco. That's where I think he would be.
Kyle Shanahan getting.
That's where I think it would make the most sense.
Like everybody's gonna be playing with him in Madden. Everybody, but they need a receiver. Don't get me wrong. Like I love Debo. I love Debo Samuels. I love Kittle. They get hurt a lot. Sure. They need a wide receiver. And I told you who I think should go there.
Allen Robinson.
No. If Deshaun Watson goes to the 49ers, if I'm Odell Beckham, I'm on the first thing fucking smoking. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I'm out. Bro, he can run.
Is he released yet?
No.
He's still
under contract. Listen, look, Jarvis, that's your homeboy. Stupid. Go to California, bro. Yeah. Go chill with Drake. Go be in Calabasas, Santa Monica, wherever, and go and play with Deshaun Watson if he goes there. Yeah, I still think, honestly, even if I was Odell, I'd still leave.
I think Odell should leave. They played better without him, so why would they want him there? If he
I wouldn't want to be there.
Leave,
I wouldn't want to be there because Baker tried to force the ball to Odell, and I think that's what led to a lot of things. Jarvis Landry, they got
Jarvis
Landry and Odell. Jarvis Landry, I don't know what it is about his route running. I don't know what it is. He's always open, and he has he has
great hands.
He has great hands, just as good as Odell.
Yeah.
We all know that Odell has crazy hands. But for some reason, Jarvis just gets open. I don't think he's doubled as much as Odell.
He could just be a really good route runner.
I think
I've actually never sat there and tried to watch it.
Odell gets doubled all day. You
I'm
can
talking
see
about
somebody
Jarvis.
over the top. No, that's what I'm saying. But Jarvis does not. I don't know why people don't double him.
Gotcha. So anyway, so you think he's going to Miami?
I think he's going to go to Miami.
Okay, I'll say San Francisco.
I just think with the capital that they have, it makes sense.
Cool.
Dark horse is the LA Rams too. Just want to
That's
sprinkle
not,
that in there for you.
So we only have a few more topics.
Right.
We're gonna make this next segment really, really quick.
Okay.
Just something simple, right? We just want to mention it.
Okay.
Real quick, the inauguration thoughts.
My thoughts is that I watched it. I was scared because I thought something was going to happen.
Yeah. And
I
nothing happened.
watched out of fear.
You watched out of fear?
Yeah.
I watched on mute because I was in meetings all day. But I still thought great things happened. But yeah, I mean, that's where we are. So let's talk coaching carousel. It's starting to wrap down.
Right,
for
right.
every team in the NFL,
Right.
Except
Shout out
for
to
the-
Eric Bieniemy, who still doesn't have a home.
except for the Houston Texans.
That was a shot.
No, the Texans are trash.
Oh, keep going. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, get into it because I love bashing
The Texans are the only team that are left that does not have a head coach.
and they were the first team to not have a head coach.
Right.
Week 5.
Yeah.
Week 5.
Romeo Cornell did what he could with what he had, which wasn't much, because prior to that, their terrible GM/coach got rid of everybody.
You think he did a worse job than Chip Kelly?
Oh yeah, by far. Chip Kelly at least got to the playoffs.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, Bill O'Brien got to the playoffs, but how did you let the Texans slip with that big of a lead against the Chiefs? They went up 3 touchdowns in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, and then they got scored on by 50 straight points
Right.
by that trash defense.
Right.
That
And
we all knew was
they should
trash.
have that game. They should have been in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Nuts that they should have been in the Super Bowl. Deshaun Watson.
and now their
what
coach
a-
is fired, and now that Deshaun Watson's out. Man,
God, what a sad story there.
for me, I think it's a fantastic story.
Yeah, because they're in your division.
That's one
If
less team I have to
Washington was
worry
going
about.
through this, I'd be happy too.
Yeah, that's one less
It'd be
team I
all
have
shits
to.
and giggles. It'd be all shits and giggles there, but
It's all roses and daisies over here in Indy, baby. We good. The
still
Jags
need a quarterback.
suck. I'm not worried about that. We got that on lock. We have one of the best GMs in the league.
yeah, we'll cover quarterbacks in a couple minutes.
But anyway, so speaking of coaches and the Colts offensive coordinator Nick Sirianni
Yeah.
going to the Eagles.
Yeah,
Pull their DB coach
Yeah.
to be the OC.
Yeah.
I'm glad for Nick. I think Nick. I listen to every Colts interview, probably as you do with every Cowboys interview.
Yeah,
So
pretty much.
coach, GM, quarterback coach.
I get tired of hearing Jerry talk.
I don't get tired of hearing Frank talk because the dude's a fucking genius.
Jerry talks in circles.
I'm not surprised.
Jerry
about
talks like this. How Jerry talk?
Well, here at the Dallas Cowboys, we like to do. There's certain things that we like to do. We want to make sure everybody's involved, and as soon as we get everybody involved, then I would say we're a complete team.
Jerry, that's not what we asked you. We asked you, Jerry, what are you going to do about Zeke? He's not running the ball.
Well, I think when it comes to Zeke, we'll get him where he needs to be, but we can't do that if we don't bring all of the troops in together.
That's exactly how Jerry Jones talks. That
I'd be pissed off too.
it's the most confusing shit I've ever heard in my life.
I don't even know what to say about that.
No,
Yeah, that's
dude,
pretty funny.
listen to a Jerry Jones interview.
I'm
and
okay.
then,
I just listened to one and I almost fell asleep.
oh man, golly.
So I listened to everybody. So I listened to the head coach,
Right.
offensive coordinator, equipment person, everybody. Whoever
Right.
wants to talk, I listen. Right.
Right.
Nick Sirianni is a no bullshit kind of guy.
That's what they need in Philadelphia right now. It seems like it seems like Doug Peterson lost the locker room.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he lost the locker room when he had like they looked good in the Super Bowl. Granted, it was Nick Foles, but that team looked really good. They look like they can handle just about anything. Like they lost their quarterback and was still able to keep the ball rolling.
Yep.
Like they looked decent. And I'm saying this as a Cowboy fan. Like I didn't like it, and I was like, man, if this Doug Peterson guy is doing stuff like this, what was it? Like second year in the league and won a Super Bowl.
First.
That was his first year as a head coach.
Something like that.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I hate everything Philly.
Yeah.
But
and then we took away the key.
Right. Yeah. And it just seemed like
it fell apart.
It's falling apart. It's like you took the one cog, right?
Yeah.
And it's falling apart. Same thing with the Texans. You got rid of your one cog. You got rid of Deshaun Hopkins or DeAndre Hopkins. I don't know what I put them together.
Well, yeah, but anyway, so Nick Sirianni to the Eagles.
Right.
He takes the DB coach to make him our DB coach to make him
Really?
his OC. Yep.
Wow. He's gonna be
not
OC.
DB coach. Maybe it was a DB coach. It was some coach. Anyway, and then we make our QB coach
Right.
our offensive coordinator.
I mean that makes sense.
Yeah. I think Nick Sirianni is going to be really good for Frank Reich. For Carson Wentz.
Right.
It's basically getting Frank Reich back without getting Frank Reich back.
I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna implement that
It's the same system.
The same system all over again. They're gonna
and you know what?
What seems like it was taken away from him last year, right?
Yeah.
I think they're just gonna go in. I think that's what probably sold the leadership there in Philly. Yeah. They'd be like, look, I know the offense that he ran when he was winning games and looking like the MVP. I'm bringing that back. I honestly, as a Phillies GM, I would have been like, sold. You got the job.
And for Frank, it looks great because now his coaching tree is out there.
Yeah, it's spreading.
It's spreading.
Right.
It's been 2 years. It's spreading.
I mean, hey, more power to Frank, man.
Thank you, Chris Ballard. And another shout out to Josh McDaniels for quitting on us. Appreciate it.
Can you blame Josh McDaniels, though?
I don't blame him. I thank him.
He's going to be as soon as Bill steps away, he's going to be the head coach.
I'm not blaming Bill.
Of the New England Patriots, and he got a Super Bowl ring out of it.
I am thanking Bill. I'm not blaming him. Josh, I thank him every day for leaving us out in the dust.
If he gets his hand on a mobile quarterback, he's going to be.
Not my problem because you know what? It's been 3 years since he quit on us, and he hasn't gotten another head coaching job since. And he's interviewed multiple times.
Let's just keep it funky. He's head coaching waiting. As soon as Bill steps away, that's his team.
And you know what? The moment that doesn't happen,
they're going to change that team. That team's going to be looking like your team. That team's going to go from play action passes, from downhill running. They're going to open that shit up.
Yep.
And he's going to spread the ball out, and he's going to go get him a nice offensive line, which they should have. I don't know what.
Which they do in New England already.
Right. Well, COVID kind of messed that up. But hey.
Anyway, so that happens. Yeah. So the only team left without a coach is the Texans. So
Eric Bieniemy should be coach.
He should be a coach. So there's somebody asked me, and I think it was B Weezy. Shout out to B Weezy. Maybe it was him or his buddy posted on Facebook.
Okay.
And he was like, if you're a black head coach, and because let's be honest,
right?
Black head coaches are not treated the same as white head coaches.
Correct.
You get one shot at it. Jim Caldwell went through it.
Yep.
You get
and he had a winning record.
And if you don't get it done, he went to a Super Bowl and he had a winning record with another team. And
true.
And if you don't get it right, then you're done. So if I'm Eric Bieniemy, I'd take a look at the shithole that the Texans are. Why would I take that job?
I wouldn't take it.
Especially knowing that Deshaun Watson is out no matter what.
It's something that you have to do because you have, like.
I'm going to pigeonhole myself into a terrible organization with the racist owner because I don't have another choice.
Well, he's dead. That's no shot.
His son
is still working there. He's still. We all understand that racism is taught. Yeah. So hopefully I'm hoping and praying that he doesn't have the same views as.
I mean, I think
respectfully,
it's not that he openly has those views, but the way that franchise has been, even after his dad left, why would you have any other view that it's changed?
I don't know.
If I'm Eric Bieniemy, I pray that the Texans don't call me.
But they already did.
But they haven't called him for a second interview.
They're not going to. I don't think they're going to.
I don't think he takes.
Now, if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, yeah, they're going to call him. They're going to call him.
I think.
And the reason why they're going to call him is because it looks good, and I think you got to think Houston is, how black is Houston? It's predominantly black. Yeah. It's a predominantly black city, and I think that to do some type of, do we want to say PR stunt? We want to call it a PR stunt? Like, we can call it a PR stunt, and it would look good from ownership to give Eric Bieniemy a call. But I'm telling you right now, if they don't win the Super Bowl, he's not getting a phone call. He's just not going to get it.
Okay, well, I don't care about.
Why is Marvin Lewis not?
Because Marvin Lewis has always been a joke.
Marvin Lewis,
head coach.
As a head coach, yes, but he still hadn't got. Marvin Lewis got his job because he coached up defenses, right. And he still
doesn't have been. Yeah. So the I'm going to tell you who I think is going to get it.
Okay.
And it's coming straight from the Colts organization again.
Who do you think they're going to get?
Their defensive coordinator, our defensive coordinator, Matt Eberflus, who's been reported a couple times to be the favorite to get the job.
Yeah.
So they're gonna ride around Deshaun. He's gonna peace out of town. He's gonna go to San Francisco, like we talked about in the last segment. Mm-hmm. And Houston's gonna be a shithole forever. Matt Eberflus will probably lose his job in 2 years, but it won't matter because he's white and he'll get another job.
Yeah. He'll probably get picked up in the same year, which sucks.
Literally, that's what I think is gonna happen.
Byron Leftwich. Let's name the quarterback, the coordinators that are out there right now. Byron Leftwich.
Is he actually out there? Wasn't he in Jacksonville? Or no, Arizona. If I was Byron Leftwich, I'd stay in Arizona, dude.
Byron Leftwich is the quarterback's coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I thought he was the OC at Arizona.
He is the quarterback's coach for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
What a guy. My guy.
When the Bucs won last week, mm-hmm. Do you know who Tom Brady went and hugged first?
Oh,
Byron Leftwich.
I didn't even pay attention to that. But anyway, I swear I thought he was Arizona. Okay, so Byron Leftwich.
Byron Leftwich, Larry Frazier. Leslie Frazier, sorry. What's my other guy? Eric Bieniemy. What was the other guy?
Jim Caldwell. You think one of those four are going to get it?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't think any of those four.
I'm just saying, like, off the top of my head, those are like four guys I can think of right now that deserve head coaching jobs, and they don't.
I'm really upset that Jim Caldwell is not a head coach at Detroit. He did a great job at Detroit.
Yeah, they got Motor City,
and they got rid of him, and they've only won 3 games since.
That's
he took him to 9-7.
That's poor leadership.
You know, every organization, you need a good GM, you need a good coach,
right?
You need a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Right now there are
quarterbacks.
There are a handful of quarterbacks out there who need a home.
Right.
So we're not actually going to do a segment out of this. The segment we're going to play a game.
Right.
The game is called Quarterbacks.
Right.
I have a list of 6 quarterbacks here.
Okay.
And I'm going to go through each one real quick.
Okay.
And I want you just to tell me. We'll talk more in depth about why and who and what.
Right.
We'll talk about that next week.
Okay.
But just to wrap it up real quick, I just want you to tell me where you think they will be next year.
Okay.
We'll start Deshaun Watson.
Miami.
Dak Prescott.
Dallas.
Matt Stafford.
Colts.
Mitch Trubisky.
Free agent.
Oh, wow. A-Rod.
A-Rod's going to San Francisco. He's a fan. That's where he's from. He's going.
And then Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold will be a Patriot.
Cool. And then real quick, I'll go and put mine on here. So I think Deshaun's going to be in San Fran.
Okay.
Dak is going to stay in Dallas.
Okay.
And not only is he going to stay in Dallas, I think he finally signs a long-term deal. And his agent's going to force it. Or he's
they said his agent's been the one that's been the hard ass
in
the deal.
Matt Stafford's the Colts. Not because obviously I'm a Colts fan.
Right.
I've just heard too much heading in that direction.
Yeah.
Especially now here in
It's
today.
been a lot.
Yeah.
And it's been, what, 2 days?
Not even 24 hours since he said he wanted to trade.
It's been
And
a
it's
lot
like
of news.
his
brother.
top team is the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Reich has went on, we talked about it earlier, went on a show
Right.
and said that they're looking for a veteran quarterback. Ballard's a great, smart guy. I think they're going to figure out a way. I've heard even as soon as it might be done by the end of the week.
Wow.
So,
Okay, that'd be a hell of a week.
Mitch Trubisky is trash shit, so he's going to be a free agent. So I didn't even put his name. I just put free agent. I think A-Rod stays in Green Bay. Although there's turmoil there, I still think that team is
That's
still.
such a joke, bro. You just sat up there and said that he and Frank,
Yeah.
LaFleur don't get along.
Yeah.
So you would keep him there.
They would force him to stay there. Look, at the end of the day, if he doesn't like where he's going to go and San Fran's the place, if San Fran gets Deshaun Watson, he's not going to San Fran.
True.
And he has a no trade clause. So you're not going to force me somewhere that I don't want to go.
So just so you know, next year, the cap hit for Aaron Rodgers is $6 million. 2022 is $21 million.
That's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad.
And by that time, he's going to be 40. So
Yeah.
And then Sam Darnold. You know what? You know why I gave up on Sam Darnold?
Why?
Because they took LaFleur's little brother with him, with Saleh.
Ah, okay.
He's there. He was their passing game coordinator in San Francisco.
Okay.
He's now going to be the OC in New York. So once I saw that,
Okay, it
I was
makes
like,
sense.
we can't. And I really.
They're not
that's
going
why
to
I
get
kept
rid of.
switching.
They're going to try to do it. They're going to try to do it again.
That's why That's why I moved around, right? Because I've been huge on Sam Darnold.
Yeah, you've been wanting him since
Mid-season.
Yeah, mid-season.
Yeah, but now knowing that, I don't think they're going to move him.
Okay.
They're going to give him a shot.
Okay.
They'll probably go, 3-13, 2-14 again.
Okay.
But at least he'll have a full off season.
Okay.
He'll be able to implement the system.
Okay.
And I think they give this year and next year because he's only got 2 years left on his deal.
Right.
And then after that, they'll figure out what they want to do. I think Saleh is going to be really good there.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I think he stays with the Jets.
Okay.
Cool, bro. What are you looking forward to this week on Dead Week?
Dead week. What I'm looking forward to is maybe some college hoops.
Texas
Texas
looking
playing
Speaking
today.
of Texas, we haven't even seen what they were doing. And they've been on for a while.
T's and P's to Shaka Smart.
Down
he,
5.
He announced today that he has COVID. So we
Actually announced it Monday or yesterday.
still T's and P's.
T's and P's, man.
I hope you get through that, man. Again,
We miss you,
COVID
bro.
is taking a lot of people down today. Again, our thoughts and prayers are with anybody that's been that's had COVID or has been affected by COVID. What are you looking forward to?
Basketball, dude. I tweeted Texas basketball that I missed them.
Right, and they responded, didn't they?
Yeah, no, they liked it. They
That's
liked
cool.
my tweet.
That's cool.
As in, like, me too, bro. So I'm gonna be watching Texas basketball. We've got Oklahoma today, and then we have Kansas State on Saturday. Next week's the big one, though.
Baylor.
Next Saturday. So that's gonna be Super Bowl Saturday, and then we'll have the NFL awards next week.
Right.
I've got nothing else. You got anything else, Tim?
No, nothing that I can think of. Oh, I this is off subject. I want to thank Microsoft for reversing their pricing on the their Microsoft Gold.
Man.
They were going to go for 6 months, $59, and that was going to hurt my pockets. So I'm glad you guys reversed it and went $59 for a full year instead of $120 for a full year. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
Don't you ever do anything as dumb as fuck it you almost did. Microsoft, not you.
Oh yeah.
That was stupid
yeah,
as shit.
Yeah. That was a no. That was bad. That was a bad move, guys. Bad move.
I would have canceled my Xbox Live and bought a PlayStation.
Oh, a lot of people were, and I think that's what scared them. Yeah.
I would have bought a PlayStation 5. That shit was so stupid.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's all I got.
All right, man.
You
We
piecing
thank you
us out
guys
here?
for we'll take you out. My name is Tim Wayne. We thank you guys for coming in for episode 2. Got anything, man?
And my name's Uncle Gandhi on all the socials.
I'm Tim Wayne. Hey, we want to thank you guys for stopping in. We're live from Track Majors Boy, did I mess that up.
We're coming live from Track Major Studio. He's sitting there laughing at us behind the camera. But remember, if you find yourself lost, man, remember to look for your North Star. We're out.
Peace.